Hi yogis, thank you for joining me in this flow practice today. We're focusing mainly on the back line of the body, so think hamstrings, think back bending a little bit, and generally speaking, having some fun flowing in and out of postures. Join me on the mat in just a moment. See you soon. Now making your way onto your belly, coming all the way down onto the tummy. Now we will start our flow today. If you need to wiggle the hips a little bit to release any tension in the lower back, or move the head around from side to side to release tension in the neck, please do so. Take a nice slow inhalation, breathing into the back of the body, and a long exhalation. We'll do this again. Inhale, breathe into the back of the body, all the way down to the feet. And a slow exhalation. Good. On our next inhalation, bend the knees, flex the feet. We're going to lift the head, keeping the hands connected to the forehead, and maybe lift the thighs. You don't have to go super high. And if the legs don't actually come off the floor, it's the intention of lifting that's important. Sweep the arms back, and you may not be able to catch the feet, but we're lengthening and lifting a little bit higher. If you can catch the ankles or the feet, you can grab hold and maybe push and extend a little bit more into your bow position. Go easy on your body. We don't have to go to the most extended variation of a back bend yet. One breath, inhale. Now releasing the thighs, keep the knees bent for a moment. Hands come down underneath your shoulders. We're going to lengthen the right leg and roll onto the right hip. And you might just want to tap your left foot behind, straightening your right arm, and lift the left arm up to the sky. This might be plenty. Or we push down through that right hand and lift up the right hip, pushing down through the left foot and open into a nice wild thing. Squeeze your buttocks. You can either collect the back of the skull if you feel your head needs a bit of support, or reach the arm all the way behind you. Okay, we'll slowly place the left foot to the top of the mat. So we're going to come all the way back to the top of the mat, drop the right knee down to the floor, and lift the body up. So we're taking hold, the left leg's going to reach back to the right hamstring as we sweep the right arm up to the sky. Now we're going to reverse this, so we're going to windmill the hands, tuck the right toes, windmill that right arm back and lift the left arm up to the sky. And really think about keeping that opening through your spine, opening up through the heart. The back leg is as straight as it can be and the chest is forward. So we're not twisting here, we're opening up through the front of the body. So really find that back bend, squeeze the buttocks. Come back to the center, turn to the long edge of the mat, toes turn in, arms out wide, and see if you can come through a flat back. So reach the arms as wide as they can alongside the ears, feeling the hamstrings getting a nice stretch, maybe bending the knees if you need to. Then turning to the back of your mat, bending your right knee, lunging forward, so as if we're trying to bring the belly down to the thigh, but elongating from the left heel all the way to the crown of the head. So really find length through your spine. We'll sweep the arms up to the sky, high lunge, and interlace the fingers behind the skull, and just lean back, lean the head back into the hands. Squeeze the buttocks to support the lower back. Opening up through the chest, let your elbows reach out as wide as they want to go so you feel the shoulder blades closing towards each other. Come back to the center. Now we twist to the right side, and this might be where you want to stay, just twisting here, stay here. Or dip the left elbow down towards the floor, keeping that awareness of twisting. When you get so far and you think, I can't go any further, release the left arm down to the earth. And then we reach the right arm up to the sky. Good. Drop the left knee down to the floor. And we're either going to collect the knee of the right leg or the foot or the big toe. And we're lifting up either knee, so if we're coming up, we're lifting that right knee up to the sky. Kind of think it's like dog peeing up a wall. Or we're grabbing the foot and extending the leg up towards the sky. Push. Now we'll drop the right foot back to the top of the mat. So if you haven't got as much hip flexibility, if you're here, which is fine, just place the foot and lift up to a nice kind of gate pose position. Beautiful. We'll then windmill the hands to frame the right foot. Tuck the left toe into the ground, and this is going to be quite a wide pyramid lunge. So your legs are a little bit wider, the back heel may not come down to the floor as you come into this pyramid fold. Lovely stretch for the hamstrings. If you want to wiggle the hips around, you can. Now you can either do this through downward facing dog or tabletop. We're sweeping the right leg back, three-legged down dog, bent knee, open hip for now. Remember, this can be done in tabletop, the left knee down to the floor. We'll shift our weight forward, keep that right leg elevated to the sky, bent knee, but square off the hips. And we're going to do a little dive down, so a chaturanga dive into a back bend. So remember, if the left knee needs to come down at any point, it can. We bend the elbows as we lift the body up to our back bend, either up dog or cobra or anything we want. We join the right leg to the left, squeeze the buttocks and lift open through the chest. Back bend of choice. And then we'll push back into downward facing dog or child pose. Take a moment to breathe. Inhale to shift forward into your plank position or tabletop. We're going to extend the left leg back, right arm forward. We swap. Right leg back, left arm forward. Release. The knees come down to the floor. We're going to collect the hands and lift the torso up, pointing up to the sky. This might be just where you want to stay and open the chest. Or as you come a bit deeper into your camel position, squeeze the buttocks, push the chest up to the sky, hips forward, maybe cactus the elbows, and sweep the arms around, coming back to the top of your mat, landing the hands into your tabletop position. Good. From this tabletop, we lift the left leg up, pointing the left toes up to the sky, squaring off the hip. Now you can technically stay here, or chaturanga, bend the elbows. When the chin just grazes the floor, we push back up. We'll just do 2 more of those for our first round, just to get our energy in kind of action. Elbows bend, touch the floor with the chin, and push back up. 1 more. Bend and lift. As we lift back up the last time, we either come into pigeon, so shifting that right foot slightly in front of the left hip, left leg goes back, or we can shift back into deer. So we drop down onto the hip of the right leg and lift up through the chest, or alternatively, we can also lift up into the arms. So we're really getting a nice back extension here. Take another breath. Bring the hands back down to the floor, and we're going to sweep the left leg through, straight leg, or a lovely half Hanumanasana twist. So we lift the left arm up, root down through the right hand. Sink this left hip down towards the earth so we're not hoisting up too high, and feel that lovely stretch. Now grounding the left foot a little bit closer to the center of the mat. So as we pick up the right leg into our warrior 3, we're trying to use the back line of the body to lift up the back leg. Take another breath. Now we can simply bend the right knee, catch the inside of the foot and lift the left arm up to dancer's pose. If this feels too much of a challenge for your body, from warrior 3, just come up to standing, grab the inside of the foot and just lift the left arm and open the chest. You don't have to push the foot back, or you can then start to come into your dancer's pose from there. Take another breath wherever we might be. Now releasing the foot, sweeping it across the left thigh, bend the left knee and come into your figure 4. Now if you want a little extra challenge, twist right elbow towards the inside of the right foot. A little bit of a fun balance. Good. Now, as you come back to the center, cross the right leg all the way over the left, maybe even hooking the right foot around the left ankle as the arms go up to the sky. So we're sinking low as we wrap the leg around. Now, open to your goddess. Right leg goes out wide. We come into our goddess squat. And then straighten the legs, toes turn in, we'll fold forward, maybe interlace the hands behind the back and push the elbows a little bit bent, but push the hands towards each other. Good. Bend the knees to lengthen the spine and turn back to the top of your mat, releasing the right hand down to the floor and the right knee. And we're going to catch the left foot. If we can still fake it, we don't have to actually hold it. Keeping the knee in line with the hip as we push the chest open and draw the head back in line with the spine. Wonderful. Releasing the left hand down to the floor, square off the hips. And we're going to do that little chaturanga dip, but this time come all the way down to the floor. Slide the right leg away, join it with the left, and come back to where we started. We're going to go again on the second side. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, lift the head, lift the thighs, keeping the hands connected to the forehead. Reach the arms back. You may be able to catch the ankles and lift a little bit higher. Good, as we release the thighs back down to the floor, hands come under the chest. We'll extend the left leg, push onto the left hip, straightening the right arm, and either just placing the right foot behind and lifting the right arm, or we can lift all the way up to our wild thing, maybe collecting behind the skull, new word. Squeeze the buttocks and really feel that stretch through the front line of the body. We'll step the right foot back to the top of the mat, coming into our twisted low lunge, so the left knee is down, but we lift the body up. Right hand touches the left thigh as the left arm comes up. And then we windmill the left arm back, pick up the left knee and reach the right arm high. So remember the chest is staying forward here as we open up through the heart. Turning to the long edge of the mat, flat back. So toes turn in, arms out in line with the ears. So think a little further forward rather than kind of back here. Try and bring the arms in line with our ears. We'll pivot to the back of the mat, coming into a high leaning lunge. So we're reaching the arms back. Belly is coming towards the left thigh. Sweep the arms up to the sky, interlace the fingers and place them behind the skull so we can lean back, squeezing the shoulder blades towards each other and opening up through the heart center. Good. Recentralize the body and start to twist to the left. You can stay here with this twist until we bring the hand to the floor. Or start to dive the right elbow down towards the earth. Slowly, 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 going as far as you can go until you're like, yeah, I need to drop that right hand and lift up the left arm. Drop the right knee down to the floor. Now, either catching hold of the left knee, the foot or the toes, we extend that left leg up to the sky or the knee. And then we'll drop the left foot back to the top of the mat and come all the way up into our gate pose, lifting the body high. Windmill the hands to the top of your mat, framing the left foot, tucking the right toes. Remember, this is slightly a wider legged pyramid pose position as you fold forward. If you want to wiggle the hips around a little bit for this round, you can do so. And then sweep that left leg back into our three-legged downward facing dog, bent knee, open hip. Breathe. Good, we'll shift the weight forward. We're coming through our dive. So as we come down, remember you can drop the right knee down, square off the hip, the toes stay lifted. We dive down, push into the earth and lift to our upward facing dog position. Shifting back into downward facing dog. Take a breath, inhale. Exhale. Shifting forward into our plank. Right leg lifts, left arm lifts. And swap. Left leg lifts, right arm lifts. Release, knees come down. We'll collect the hands, lifting them up towards the sky. Opening up to the chest into your variation of camel. So squeeze the buttocks, open the heart, maybe cactus the arms. Sweeping them back round to the top of the mat, planting the hands back into tabletop. Right leg's going to lift. We take our little chaturanga. and push back up. We'll just do 2 more for this second round. Chaturanga. Push back up. 1 more. Chaturanga. Push up and either dropping that right foot back into pigeon or deer. So we can either sink onto the left hip, bending the knees. Maybe even lifting the arms up to the sky, opening up through the chest. Beautiful. Hands come down to the earth. We step forward with the right leg and we'll twist right arm up, sinking that right hip down so you really get a lovely stretch. I say lovely. I think it feels great down the lateral edge of the right leg. Now, just collect that right foot a little bit closer so it wants to come a little bit further into the centre of the mat. So as we push up to warrior 3, we've got space to lift up, using the back line of the body to elevate the back leg. Take another breath here. Now we're coming into dancer, so you can either just bend the foot, lift the chest, bend the knee, lift up and come through your dancer's pose, or you can come up to standing first, join the knees, collect the foot, lift the right arm and just see where your torso wants to take you. Good. Keep breathing. It's most important to actually feel into your body where it wants to go. Good. We're slowly going to release that left leg and cross it into our figure 4, bending the right knee. Hands can come to the heart center. We can stay here. Or twisting left elbow to the inside of the left foot. So we're twisting to the right side. Good. Cross the left leg all the way over as you come back to the center with the torso, maybe even hooking the left foot around the back of the right calf muscle. And lift the arms up high towards the sky. So stretching out the spine and sinking the bum down low. Step the left leg open into your goddess squat. And as we take the legs to straighten, we bring the hands behind us, interlace the fingers, squeeze the shoulder blades together in the palms, and we'll fold forward all the way down. Bend the knees, flatten the back, releasing the left hand back to the top of your mat, left knee down. And we'll swing back the right leg, maybe catching it with the right hand. Don't worry if you can't reach. Open up the chest. Really nice stretch the front of the body. And as the right hand comes down to the earth, keep the right knee lifted, toes point up, square off the hips. We chaturanga down, slide the legs together, and come back onto the belly. Whew, well done. Now we're going to go for that all again, a little bit more smoothly, with no breaks between each side, and see how we get on. Remember the variation that you need to do for your body. Take any variations that are required for you today. Inhale, let's lift up the feet and exhale, raise up head and thighs, sweeping back the arms, catching the feet and lifting a little higher if you would like to. We'll release the right leg and the right hand, push down through the left and either coming onto that right hip or lifting into your wild thing. We're stepping the left leg over, coming into the low lunge twist, lifting the torso up, left hand reaches back for the right hamstring. We windmill the right arm back, lift the right leg and open up the left arm, centralizing the chest. Coming all the way to the long edge of the mat, flat back, knees straight or bent. And then turning to the back of the mat, bending over. So we're lengthening the spine, bending the right knee, elongating the spine. Inhale, lift the arms up, interlace the fingers behind the head and open up through the chest. Coming down into your twist, we're twisting to the right, left elbow is coming down towards the floor until we reach, ground the hand to the floor, twist, right arm up. Left knee comes down to the floor, either grabbing knee, foot or toe. Lift that right leg up to the sky. Drop the right foot to the top of your mat, come up through gate pose and windmill the hands all the way over to frame the right foot. Tuck the left toes, push into your pyramid, elongated legs. Sweeping the right leg back, coming through three-legged downward facing dog. Remember, you can drop your left knee into tabletop here. We shift the weight forward. We come through our chaturanga. We push to our upward facing dog or back bend of choice. And into your downward facing dog. Inhale, shift the weight forward into plank. Left leg lifts, right arm. Swap, right leg, left arm. Land in the knees. Collect the hands, come up into your camel variation. Opening up the chest, maybe cactus the arms, squeeze the buttocks. As the hands come down to the floor, we lift the left leg up. Take the elbows back into chaturanga, chin touches the floor, and this time we just push back either to pigeon, or into deer. Too many animals in yoga. Okay, we'll step forward with the left leg, twisting the left arm up into a half Hanuman twist. Bring that left foot a little bit closer towards the right knee as we push into warrior 3. Maybe through into your dancer's pose, catching the right foot, lifting the left arm up, and then sweeping that right leg around into figure 4, twisting if you want to add the twist, right elbow towards the right foot. Take it into eagle, crossing the right leg all the way over the left, arms reach up to the sky. And then step open to your goddess, sinking low. Straighten the legs, turn the toes in, interlace the fingers behind the back, and we fold forward. Good, bend the knees. Sweep the right hand down to the floor, right knee comes to the earth, and we catch the left foot, open the chest. Remember, you can fake it. Bringing the left hand down to the floor, take the body back through that chaturanga, sliding back onto the belly, resting the forehead down to the hands. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, lift the head, lift the thighs, and reach back towards the feet. Maybe you can lift a little bit higher. Releasing the left hand, straighten the left leg. Use the right hand to push either to the side or lifting up into wild thing. Squeeze the buttocks. We step the right leg forward, coming into that twisted lunge, lifting the right arm up and lifting the torso all the way up. Right hand touches the left hamstring. Windmill the left arm back, pick up the left knee, reach the right arm up to the sky, open the chest. We turn to the long edge of the mat and we fold forward, flat back. Pivot to the back of the mat, bending the left knee. Inhale, sweep the arms up, interlace the fingers. Place them behind the skull and exhale to lean back. Coming back to the center, we twist. Right elbow comes down towards the floor. Almost there. And then we're like, oh, reach the hand down, twist the left arm up. Right knee comes down, collecting the left knee, foot or toe. We lift the left leg up. Place the left foot down to the floor. Come up into gate pose. And windmill the hands to frame the left foot, picking up the right knee and folding into pyramid. Slide the left leg back, 3-legged downward facing dog or tabletop, bent knee. We shift the weight forward and take your chaturanga, pushing up to your upward facing dog or back bend of choice, and into downward facing dog. We'll come through into our plank. Lifting the right leg, left arm. Swap, left leg, right arm. Release, knees come down, collect the hands. Sweep all the way up to the sky. Open up the chest, squeeze the buttocks. As we bring the hands back down to the floor, lift the right leg up. Take it through our chaturanga, graze the chin onto the floor, pushing either to deer pose or pigeon. Arms can raise up towards the sky. We'll step forward with the right leg, left hand to the earth, twisting the right arm up. Bring that right foot a little bit closer and push to your warrior 3. Open up into dancer's pose, lifting that right arm and sweeping the left leg around into figure 4. Maybe the twist, left elbow towards the left instep. Good, we take it through into your eagle, crossing the left leg over the right, arms reach up to the sky, and then stepping open into goddess, squat it low. Straighten the arms, straighten the legs, interlace the fingers behind the back as we fold forward. Bend the knees. Turn back to the top of the mat, left hand comes down. We sweep the right leg back, catch the foot, open the chest. As we come back down with the right hand, come through the chaturanga, lengthen the legs away, come back onto the belly. Take a moment here just to breathe. We're only doing 4 rounds. So come back to the breath. slowing everything down. And just because we've done some back bending, we're going to close it with a couple of twists just to allow the spine to realign. So as we draw the right arm underneath the left armpit, we can either draw the left knee in or both knees in and twist the left arm open and around. Now you can make this a still variation or you can move it a little bit. Breathing nice and steady. And if you want a little bit more, you can straighten the left leg, maybe catching it with the right hand just to get an extra little stretch down the lateral edge of the left hip and down the outside of the left leg. Coming all the way back onto the belly, straightening the legs. We're going to swap the sides. We're going to bring the left arm underneath the right armpit, either drawing the right knee in or both knees in, and twisting the right arm open and around. You might want to keep this moving, or you might want to come into stillness for a few breaths. Again, if you want to straighten the right leg and catch the outside of the right foot, you can. To give that extra little stretch into the outer edge of the hip. And slowly coming all the way back onto the belly, hands can come underneath the shoulders. We'll push the body up to tabletop and just move into some cat-cows, get the spine to undulate, maybe wiggle the hips around a little bit. I'm going to sink back into child pose. If child pose doesn't feel comfortable for your body, or you need a different variation of rest, you can come into a different variation. Just nicely elongating the spine. Breathing into the back of the body. Then we'll curl up, sweep the legs out in front. And coming into a Shavasana where I'm going to leave you here. Coming onto the back, feet can be grounded just to feel the spine a little bit more neutral. Or you can elongate the legs if it's comfortable for your back. Just taking a few moments here, whatever works best for your body. If you do need to take some extra movement, some twist, or anything else to release some of the tension you may have felt in your body, you can do so. Or I'll let you stay here in Shavasana for as long as you need. Well done for flowing.